love your work.
Thank you.
My first question is,
Yeah.
why did you choose Fox over some of the heavy-duty cable channels?
You know what? I felt you have to make a judgment about its nature, the project's nature.
Right.
You know, is it an HBO show? Is it a Netflix show? You know, where would its nature be served best?
Right.
What is it? Not
Right.
what you want it to be.
Right.
And the project as it came in it just felt like it had kind of a little bit of that cable flavor and
Yeah.
a little bit of that edges, but it could be on the
more
fringe of
mainstream.
more mainstream.
Nice,
And
yeah.
it felt like that, and it was the right decision because you can tell if you made the right decision
Right.
in casting or where you're making the project by the ease of the partnership.
Right.
Because they'll say, this is what we want the sweet spot to be. And you're
Right.
like, great, because that is the sweet spot. As opposed to if it wasn't, they'll keep on pulling you this way. You know, either to speed it up or slow it down or whatever it is. That, you know.
Control it. You're a very astute businessman.
Oh,
that's a very astute choice.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be any like nudity or like the graphic maybe stuff that might have been on cable or.
It wasn't the nature of that project. You know, the project was centered on a kind of this giant conceit of it and what the psychological implications of that.
Yeah.
And even on a I want to say biblical, but on a larger scale, what are the moral implications of the things we're talking about?
Nice.
So the kind of the normal stuff of like, kind of let's say a kind of day-to-day sexuality would be inappropriate considering the conceit of the show, considering the big idea of the show.
Right.
So it just naturally, even if I wanted to do that, which I did have the desire to make like an HBO-y kind of sexy show. That's not what the material wanted.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I read about you. Both of your parents were physicians.
Yes.
My father was a doctor. He passed away in 2005, but thank you. But, you know, I've always thought that doctors' kids are, first of all, we're really smart. We're super duper smart.
If we don't mind saying so ourselves.
We're a little bit prejudiced, very modest. But do you think that you have a fascination with, you know, the spiritual and also macabre, and kind of like dark themes stuff? Do you think any of that came from your medical, like, sort of background, like your parents, like, you know, the intensity of what they do?
I mean, it's very possible. We have all the doctors in our family, all the uncles and aunts, everyone from coroner to obstetrician. My mom was an obstetrician, so from birth to death, we got covered.
You do have it all.
And as your body breaks down, we have a different uncle or aunt who's helping take care of you until you're dead, and then they'll cut you up and say, what happened to you?
What if somebody wants to be cremated? Then it's like, oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, so we have a lot of conversations that were very, very clinical at home about, you know, when I was a kid, I could tell you medical terms.
Me too, yeah. Kind of creepy a little bit. Some of it is a little invasive as a 12-year-old.
With the Indian culture, which is a very kind of
spiritual,
super spiritual culture.
Right.
So this kind of dichotomy of like a science family coming from a spiritual place. You know, so the same aunts and uncles are still doing the prayers and the ceremonies and all that stuff.
Right.
That's kind of, I guess now that we're speaking about it, is an unusual influence to have as your normal home environment.
Right. And I want to make sure I get this one in. There seems like American culture, especially you, this sort of super absorbed with this type of material. The actual seeing, the dissection of the bodies, the police work, the mysteries, the crimes, the blood, the vampires, everything.
Yes.
Why do you think it's in such a dark mode? Do you think that there's any way the spirituality is going to get more into like a, you know, Sixth Sense, but like happy Sixth Sense?
I don't think that,
like a more positive ghost thing?
I've actually thought a lot about what you're talking about. I think what you're talking about. When I make something, for example, from a more emotional or softer place.
Yeah.
Sometimes the audience, especially a certain section of the audience, especially like a Comic-Con, finds it invalid.
Right.
Because their entry point into life and the way they see life is much darker.
Right.
So they're like, don't jump to this.
Right.
You can't jump to the positive that way. You have to acknowledge their point of view. The character and the language of the story needs to have an edge to it to say, I can aspire to get you to somewhere positive.
Right, and I can identify
yes,
where you
but
are now.
Yeah, but I have to be with them. I have to acknowledge whatever the struggle, the cynicism
that they're in.
That they're in. Otherwise, you're being
shallow,
you're condescending.
Yes,
you know? If someone's struggling from something, you can't just say, just get better.
Let's joke around.
Yeah. You have to,
exactly.
You have to talk about a darkness that they can relate to.
Relate to.
Yeah. a worry or a struggle.
And world events are super dark
absolutely.
right now.
And they
Super
certainly
duper
have,
dark.
you know,
Yeah.
a validity in saying that things are
awesome. Well, thank you
Pleasure.
so much. Can we get one still?
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick?